from the combined newsrooms in Eugene, Roseburg, and Coos Bay. KVAL News at 5 starts now.
6 people confirmed dead, billions of dollars worth of damage as the Southern California fires continue to rage. This drone video showcasing the damage done to the town of Pasadena. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brandon Kamerman.
And I'm Kendall Bartley. Now, those devastating fires still tearing through Southern California tonight, the largest of which the Palisades fire, burning over 17,000 acres.
Kristen Drummond from our Las Vegas sister station reports from the Palisades neighborhood.
Just seeing the destruction of the fires is just like surreal. We were saying, like, it looks like a movie set.
But this is not a scripted scene. The damage very real for those who live in the Pacific Palisades. Many homes and businesses burned to ash. Those who called the coastal community home now trying to return following an evacuation on Tuesday after the fire ignited and spread quickly from the high winds and low humidity.
And we tried getting in yesterday. Police wouldn't let us through.
How did you get back into the neighborhood?
We had to hike up PCH. We parked pretty far down in Santa Monica, walked on the bike path, then just found a nice path to walk up.
Police blocking access to prevent looters and keep roads clear for first responders still battling the blazes.
I get they're just doing their job, but it's disappointing that we can't even get into our own homes.
Here on Sunset Boulevard, you can still see rows of cars abandoned. On one side, completely burned from those flames. On the other, cars that did not get touched by the blaze. However, you can see they have been pushed out of the way as first responders continue to come into the Palisades to fight the fire.
The crews behind me have been here for 48 hours straight.
The assistant fire chief with the Ventura County Fire Department checking on his crews hosing down a school, trying to prevent flames from spreading to other buildings and salvage items.
They're trying to remove anything they can of value. So there were desks and chairs, and there was musical instruments.
In the sky, super scoopers swoop into the ocean and pick up water for an air attack. On the ground, firefighters direct water at hotspots and flames lingering on buildings, initiating a robust response before the forecasted winds return Thursday evening.
Stay strong, this is devastating, natural disaster, and Palisades is a very strong community.
Now, that was Kristen Drummond reporting on just one of multiple wildfires burning in Southern California. President Biden saying he's doing everything he can on the federal level to help the victims of the Los Angeles area. This includes the cost of debris removal, fire management, temporary shelters, cash assistance for those who are displaced, the salaries of first responders, and more. Now, he told local officials to spare no expense to do what they need to do to contain the fires.
We are with you. We're not going anywhere. To the firefighters and first responders, you are heroes.
Now, Biden says hundreds of federal firefighters have been sent to the region along with firefighting planes and helicopters. And among those headed to California are more crews from our region as the Coos Forest Protective Association is sending 8 firefighters and 6 engines. They're expecting to help with fire suppression, mapping, recon, and more. The trucks are equipped with up to 200 gallons of water as well as specialized equipment. Crew members that we spoke with earlier today said these wildfires are some of the biggest fires they have fought.
We're seeing some fire behavior that we haven't seen before, and California is going to be challenged with this incident, and all of us are going to go down there and give them a helpful hand.
Now, CFPA said that they have enough resources to aid in fighting the wildfire for up to 2 weeks. As is the case with all Oregon crews headed to the Los Angeles area to fight those fires. California will reimburse them.
Now, alongside those firefighters, Red Cross workers from Oregon and Southwest Washington are headed to Southern California as well. The number one thing they say they need most is money. Donations give the Red Cross the flexibility to provide what's needed, including shelters for the people who have been displaced. Volunteers who left Portland International Airport earlier today say they could be in California for up to a year.
The fires are still out of control, so we expect to be there for weeks and probably months. And when it comes to casework and finding places for people to go, their next steps, in some cases, we're there for years.
If you can't give money, the next best thing is to give blood. The Red Cross says when disasters happen, the blood supply drops. Bloodworks Northwest said while it hasn't sent units to California yet, it is readying the blood supply for emergency shipments.
And if you And if you at home would like to help those affected by the fire, there are ways to help. Go ahead and scan that QR code on your screen. That will take you to our website where you can find a list of resources and recovery funds to donate to. These resources will help those affected get access to food, water, and other resources needed to help the recovery process. Meanwhile, California homeowners who may have lost everything may be facing an insurance crisis on the horizon.
National correspondent Matt Gelka reports on the increasing difficulties for homeowners in climate disaster areas.
I don't think there's anything that I've ever seen quite like it. And the insurance companies are going to have a big problem because you're talking about big, big dollars.
Before the fires are even out, there is worry over California's fragile insurance market. Some big names like State Farm and Allstate, among others, have consistently cut homeowners insurance coverage in the Golden State since 2017.
So the main thing driving our current situation with insurance is the fact that we're starting to see more severe and more frequent climate events and weather disasters in a way that we just haven't in the past.
Jeremy Porter heads climate implications research for the nonprofit First Street Foundation, a group assessing climate risks around the country. He says companies and rates haven't kept up with increasingly catastrophic events like the California wildfires or hurricanes that have recently hit places like Florida and North Carolina. It can put every policyholder or even taxpayer on the hook.
They're going to seek to make up that money somewhere, whether that's an overhead cost, whether it's raising rates just in high risk areas, or whether they spread that out a little bit over their entire pool of insurance policyholders. It can impact people.
California has a state insurer of last resort for homeowners without coverage known as the FAIR Plan, and a large chunk of policyholders reside in the hard-hit Pacific Palisades, according to Bloomberg. Early damage estimates are at $10 billion or more, a number that would severely strain the already stretched system.
The cost of the built environment has gone up, and the risk associated from things like weather events we're seeing today have gone up. And our ability to bring all those into appropriate rate in California is just very challenging.
California recently made tweaks to the system meant to get more private insurers back to the market by allowing them to set rates based on potential future catastrophes. It could provide more coverage, but at a premium price. Reporting in Washington, I'm Matt Gelka.
Oregon insurance companies are forbidden from refusing wildfire coverage. In fact, every homeowner's insurance policy in Oregon must include such coverage. These fires, of course, continuing to burn, something we will continue to monitor over the next couple days on our website, kval.com.